All right, I'm gonna just jump into this. So you see the title. You see the title. I'm not going to talk about that though. I'm not going to talk about really what happened back then. I mean, I'll kind of touch on that, but I'm really more going to just focus on who I am today because of what happened. I mean, y'all know me relatively well, right? So, why am I the way that I am? Why? Why? What motivated me to lose so much weight? What? Okay, first point. Me now. I can't sustain relationships. I'm unable to focus on others' needs, and I'm constantly stuck in survival mode. Okay, I was forced to play football for 14 years against my will, but that taught me lots of hidden knowledge about myself and reality because I'm a very creative person. I'm probably the last type of person who would voluntarily go and play football for 14 of my most formative years. But I did. And I ended up becoming a highly achievement oriented person. Okay, I can't ever feel someone else's love unless I feel accomplished, and even then it's fleeting, thus causing damage to relationships. Okay, so I don't really have relationships in my life. I don't really have a significant other. I don't really have parents. I don't really have friends or siblings, brothers, sisters, cousins. I don't have anyone in my life. Okay, and I'm sure a lot of people out there also are in this similar situation. I'm not here to cry about, oh, I was abused. No, no, no. I'm just going to talk about who I am today because I know how messed up of a human I am today. And so it's like, well, okay, why? Well, it must have been caused by something. Okay. Fourth point, I tore my ACL my last year of football. Uh, I wanted to quit, but I was forced back into it and essentially cucked in front of my whole team because I wanted to quit. My last year of football, I was starting to realize that I actually had a life that I was going to live. I was about to go to college, and nobody really was looking out for that. And I guess the only way my parents were looking out for me as far as anything after high school, like life, was yeah, my whole life my dad just was banking on the fact that I was going to go to the NFL because I was big and I was aggressive and I was just cut out for the NFL spot, right? So that was my whole plan up until I realized, wait a minute, I don't want to play football. I don't want to go on the NFL, right? Okay, so that's where we are. I tore my ACL my very last year of football. Okay, that year that I wanted to quit, he forced me back into the team. I had to go back up in front of the whole football team. I had to ask for their permission to come back to the team. And somehow, more than half of them voted to keep me in, but almost half of them wanted to get rid of me. So yeah, it was not a good social dynamic after that. And then I tore my ACL. Yeah, which is the biggest injury I've ever had in 14 years of football. Oh, and then that was blamed on me because I took 2 weeks off in the summertime. So all right. Anyway, that's the cause of that. I've complained a lot about my knee. It's a big one. That's why I'm really upset about that one. But yeah, my hip, knee, back are extremely messed up, and I have to do PT every day. I'm extremely self-critical with tons of self-doubt. I think because I was ridiculed for this as a child, my fight or flight kicks off, and I stay paralyzed with inaction. I never got to learn about who I was or what I was good at. It was more like I was just an extension of my father's ego, either supporting or destroying it. Never did I just exist as Joseph, the independent human. Now I'm the black sheep of the family. Everyone has this idea of me, which is totally backwards because of who they think they know is me. It's not actually me. I've been trying to find me since 18, yet my friends, my old friends and family still interact with me or not based on who they think I am or who they know, which is a manufactured version of who my father wanted me to be. So now I have to cut off my own family. Okay. So now I'm in a position where everyone's like, "Oh, why are you cutting off your family? Why don't you reach out?" It's like, bro, you guys ruined my life. If I did not step away from you guys would have ruined my life. And so nobody seems to understand that. um, that's why I'm putting it here because, like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm messed up, seems seemingly more than a lot of other people I come to interact with. And the question is why? And the answer is, well, what's the cause? That's more of a question, but it leads you to an answer. I don't know what the cause is. I don't know. I just know that, like, dude, my generation's so messed up. Like, I'm just looking at like a more macro view, like the boomer generation and then like the Gen Z generation, the millennial generation. I used to think the boomers had it hard. I used to think they had it hard. Oh, I used to walk uphill both ways in the snow. No, you didn't. You were out there partying, listening to rock and roll, doing drugs, and then you got to mess up your whole life, come back, and still you could get a family, you could still afford a home, you could still get a great paying job. And that's what we're dealing with as a generation. I mean, that's why we're all so messed up. Is that I think a lot of us were subjects of our parents, and that's why us as a generation are extremely weak because we're not doing things that we know we should be doing. We're doing things to please these people who are weaker than us, objectively had an easier life. And they think that, and they're oppressing us and being like, dude, like, step up, go do this, go do that. It's like, that's crazy. First of all, get out of my life. Second of all, no, that's not how it works in 2025. Maybe back in 1980, that's how it worked. Anyway, like I said, I'm not here to cry. I'm not here to cry about myself and talk about all the things that happened, even though I did touch a little bit on what happened. It's not about what happened. It's about who I am today. Who am I today? Because that was one thing my father always pushed was like, oh, it's a parent's job to make sure, it's a father's job to make sure that their kids are prepared for life. Well, then you did an awful job, my friend. I know it felt like you did good. Everything you did was like, it felt good, but we're not here to feel good. I think Charlie Kirk even said, don't just try to do things that feel good. Do good. Do good. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to correct the complete fuckery that our parents' generation did to us. I mean, we're watching it all unravel right now. All the corruption in politics, all of the corruption in corporate, all the corruption in everything, and it's like, I don't know how we haven't collapsed as a civilization. Yet here we are, and yeah, my thesis is that if you get stronger and you get better as a human, if I get better and I get stronger physically, mentally, if I can push myself through hard things physically, then that'll upgrade my mentally. If I can go through things emotionally that I've never emotionally gone through alone, that'll make me stronger. That's my thesis. If I can make you stronger, a better human, then we will have less corruption. We will have better leaders in this world. We'll have better neighbors. We can trust each other. We can go out in public without worrying about crazy stuff. Okay, that's my thesis, is that if I can make you a better human, then we will have, because I mean, let's just talk about it. Whoever like planned on killing Charlie Kirk, or whoever did shoot him, or whoever is the government behind the person that set him up, I don't know. But all of that is done by weak people, weak men who just want power, who just want control, who just want to use a narrative for control of their own agenda. And that's, I mean, yeah, sure, that's been going on forever, right? I don't know. I think my thesis, my argument is that it's going to continue getting worse. The systems that we have, the power systems, the judicial system, the executive branch, the systems that we have in America, we don't have powerful people. We have powerful systems. When our systems and technology keep getting better and keep getting stronger, but the humans keep getting weaker, there's going to be a convergence where now we have technology like nuclear bombs and AI, but we have people that are extremely weak, right? I would consider people like Charlie Kirk stronger than the person who went out and killed him. Okay, there's probably tons of things that are wrong with Charlie. That's fine. I'm not here to talk about that. I personally think it was stronger to go out and push a message than to go out and try to kill someone for a message. Or I mean, who knows? That's just the narrative that we're going with, and so that's the narrative I'm going to play on. But there's going to be a convergence where we're going to put ourselves out of existence if humans continue getting weaker and we continue not caring about each other. Like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna kill you just so I can use your death as a narrative to push America this way. It's like, oh no, I'm just gonna yeah. I mean, if you're just a regular civilian, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna kill you just because I don't like what you're saying. Like, I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna get an argument just because you made me upset, right? It's like, dude, like if the last 4 years of the presidency were like, oh, you have to call me this, I feel like this, I feel like this. It's like, you're weak. You're weak. I don't care how you got here. I don't care. I don't want my children on the same planet as you, to be straight up with you. I'm extremely pissed off at the way that everything is run these days. I'm extremely pissed off at just everything, everyone and everything. And I think it's complete lack of ability. I think it's just incompetence. It's people who are handed down money, who are handed down power in businesses, who didn't earn them, who are now leveraging those power systems for their own benefit. And you get 3, 4 generations down the line, and here we are, regardless of what side, it's never okay to kill somebody or push a message. That's what I'm saying. That's what I think a lot of people are saying, and I think, I don't know, dude. It could be bigger than that. It could be like, I don't know the facts. What's up, Lily? I don't know the facts. Like, I know we're all kind of going based on the fact that Charlie's dead, that it was a shooter, that it was this person or that person. I don't know the facts. All I know is that there's a narrative that Charlie's dead because he was out there pushing a message, and it was somebody who apparently didn't like that message and wanted to silence him. If that's true, doesn't matter who it is or whatever happened, like, that's not okay. We can't be doing that stuff. And that needs to be known. That's just my thesis. My thesis is that if I can make myself stronger, if I can make other people stronger, I mean, just like, look at America, bro. Like, the obesity rates, like if I could get every person in America who is obese to lose like 50 pounds, like, that alone would teach them it would teach them just discipline. It would teach them they could do things they didn't previously think was possible. It would teach them to work on themselves more and focus less on other people. It would teach them the principles of success. It would teach them that it's really not that hard. It would teach them that because they weren't doing anything for themselves before, they were taking all that energy and putting it in the negative direction and putting that out into earth by getting in arguments with people in comment sections, or by watching rage bait and contributing to whatever. It's like, it doesn't take much to become successful in any domain. It just takes a little bit more than what most people are currently doing. And I know that, but I don't think a lot of other people do. So that's why I'm here. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm gonna. I'm also gonna try and I'm gonna go out. Here's my next thing. Joey Saves is gonna try and help redefine masculinity. Or at least help society define masculinity. So here's another thesis on as far as that goes. Andrew Tate. You guys ever heard of Andrew Tate? Okay. He is like the leader he's like the man of the internet, right? That's what young men think is successful. I mean, it's the best we've got. But I think that there's room for much better. I think there's room for much better, for a way to show people how to step up and be a man and help run society. I mean, that's my thesis, is that it's a lack of masculinity. It's a lack of masculinity that's causing all these problems, like a lack of true masculine men. We got weak men running the country, weak men shooting Charlie, weak men running families, and there's this whole thing online going on about, how, and just in reality, how feminism's gone too far, how, a lot of the problem is women these days. But what's the root? What's the root of that? Weak men. I think it starts with men. If we can get stronger men, then we get less women who want to combat men, because like look at like yeah, I mean just look at the nature of things, right? Women don't want a weak man. And so the whole dynamic of the relationship field, I guess, is just like it's all askew. And I just don't see how society keeps going on, bro. Like we have OnlyFans, like everyone in America is trying to be a TikTok influencer. Like our government's being corrupted. Like I don't personally see how we A could get better, but B stop ourselves from completely collapsing within like 50 years. I don't want that. I don't know if you guys do. Extraterrestrial. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Honestly, we could be aliens. I could be an alien. We're probably all aliens. We're probably run by lizard aliens. I don't really care. I don't know. All I know is I need to get stronger. I know I could be stronger. I know there's a lot of dudes out there who. That's why I brought this. That's why that's the topic of today is because there's a lot of people in my past life who think they were strong, who think they're stronger than me, and that I believed for a long time. And it was because I believed that in reality I actually became stronger. Right? I was more emotionally weak or sensitive or something, but in reality, I could actually beat that person at literally anything. I'm just gonna keep it there because I was so insecure, because I thought I wasn't good enough, because I thought I was less than, because I didn't know I had power. I would try to prove it outside of me. And so you compound that with like 28 years of believing that, and I start to go crazy and go really hard on trying to achieve things outside of me. But yeah, yeah, extraterrestrial. Oh, you were just yeah. You were just kind of replying to that person. My bad. I don't even know what I was talking about. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. I just kind of went on a rant this morning. Yeah, that's my next thing I'm working on this weekend. I'm gonna try and go out and help people redefine masculinity. Try to just get an idea of like what do people think about masculinity, asking girls, women, asking boys, men, families, like what is your version of masculinity? Trying to get that, and then maybe going out and doing debates and challenging people, kind of like the change my mind thing, right? Is like I don't know, maybe like I don't know, like modern men are weak, change my mind or something. I don't know, something like that. And then trying to just bring the cultural zeitgeist to correct. I mean, it's essentially I'm trying to kind of do what Andrew Tate's doing, tap into that market, help young men become stronger. Except I think he's doing it with pure ego and completely without God. And he's doing it just for himself. And he's kind of leeching off of everyone that's following him. And he's being a charlatan, saying he's setting you free, but in reality, he's using you to set himself free. Doesn't neglect the fact that a lot of points that he says are I would agree with are accurate. I just don't think his approach is correct, and I think there's clearly the culture is asking for somebody. They're asking for somebody to step up and show them how to be a man. So unfortunately, we just got the wrong guy to do it. uh, yeah, but if you guys want to see that, let me know if you got any ideas. But that's what I'm gonna plan on doing, and and getting my own stuff going. I'm gonna go here, train some Muay Thai, do some calisthenics, try to make a transformation video, try to get some transformation series out here so you guys can see me working on my new fitness journey, which has kind of fallen off for the last few years. But then also just my life project, try to heal this world of the weakness that it has. Just weak people, weak humans, weak men, weak women, weak parents, weak children, weak society. So anyway, I love you guys. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow.